What's going on, guys? Got in a new grip module for the 365. It's by a company called Tyrant CNC, and it is the snub nose. All right, guys, here we are. It's the Tyrant CNC snub nose grip module. You can put this on any of the 365s because you just swap over the fire control unit. For the past couple years now, I've been running the Icarus aluminum grip module that you maybe see my video on because I liked when it came out that it was aluminum and it had a very aggressive grip texture. It's very like cheese grater-ish. It really sticks in your hand. I like that it had the sort of built-in gas pedal on the side. It's on both sides for, you know, whether you're a lefty or a righty. But to me, that was a downside. Way it holsters, you have to build that area out to accommodate for the other one, and the way it kind of sits, it kind of just, it wasn't uncomfortable, but it was something to get used to. So I didn't particularly care, there was a couple features I didn't particularly care for, although as a whole, I really liked the grip module just in general. I've been running it, carrying it. I like the extra weight. It feels good shooting it in the hand. But then Tyrant CNC contacted me and they said, hey, do you want to check out our new grip module for the 365 line? It's polymer and it's, you know, a little different. And I said, sure, you know, why not? I've been running the Icarus for a long time. Why not give something else a try? And I got it in. This is the first shots today. I'm going to go over a few things and give you my impressions. Guys, Monadnock Firearms is helping us out. 5% off using code SteveMP5 on your order over $100. Check them out. Link to their Instagram will be below. And let's do it. So the good thing about this grip module is that it's less expensive than the Icarus. Icarus is all aluminum. There's a lot of machining that goes on with that, so you're paying a very high premium for that. This is just like that standard price, that's 70, 80 bucks, you know, no big deal. Switch it out if you want to, do whatever. But what's cool is it comes with a little bit of an extended magazine release, whereas the Icarus, you'd had to remove your factory or whatever magazine release you had and swap it over. It didn't come with one. So what's nice is it comes with one. So the one downside people might say is, well, I don't really care for that because it doesn't have Picatinny rails up front. If you're somebody that has to have a Picatinny rail and don't want to run like that dedicated 365 light, then maybe this grip module isn't for you. But this is that more sleek, streamlined grip module for those who just want to be deep cover, don't need a light, don't want to do any of that. So I'm assuming that's where the snub nose name comes from. Smooth, it's just kind of short and it's snubby. So that's probably that. The grip texture is pretty nice. It has a rough texture to it. It's not as cheese gratery as the aluminum of the Icarus, but it is a nice texture and it goes all the way up the sides. It has it on the back all the way around. It has some grip texture in the front too. You can see there. So it really runs all the way around. And I think it feels good in the hand. Haven't shot it yet, but it feels good just in that way. And it does come with two back straps you can change out, a medium and a small. And this is the medium, I believe, that I put on there now, but it's an easy swap. There's a little set screw in the bottom. You Allen wrench, pull it out, pop it in, quick change, and you can configure that if you'd like. Now, whereas the Icarus, you have no adjustability there, and it's just like a big hump. Some people like the big hump. It takes up the palm, swell. Maybe it feels nice in the hand. Real deep undercut. You know, maybe that's your jam. I don't know. You let me know. This doesn't have that big hump in the back, whereas the Icarus does. And it doesn't look like it's as undercut as the Icarus to get your hand a little higher up. Again, concessions you make in materials, in cost, so it's really up to you which way you'd want to go. This is usually hard to find and very expensive. This still feels really nice, less expensive, and it's polymer. So you can kind of answer that question for yourself. Something else they sent me they wanted to check out was their little bit of a more textured, extended slide release or slide stop and a takedown lever. Now that it kind of matches, it kind of has the same little texture. Now these are aluminum, so it has a really nice ledge on these. Nice for a good purchase on your thumb if you need to do it. I will say a little bit of a challenge to install if you're running it in conjunction, I found, with their trigger. Now this trigger is really nice too. Just dry fire and everything, it feels really nice. It's not that it makes it smoother or lighter or crisper or anything like that. It's essentially just the trigger shoe, flat trigger shoe. The little dingus there does act as a little bit of a safety because that does need to be depressed before you pull the trigger. If you do not, you can see here it gets locked up on the slide, so it will not pull the trigger. Pressing that down will release the trigger. So that's nice. The factory trigger does not have that feature. It's just a flat shoe, no safety mechanism whatsoever. So that is pretty nice. I like the little design, the cut on it. It is a really nice looking trigger. I'll tell you, I like the trigger. I like how it feels. It's feels like a little wider of a shoe. Nice trigger finger placement on. Man, it's cold out here. Trigger finger placement on the trigger itself. The extended slide release is really nice. The Tac Ops model of the 365 tried to solve the issue of the smaller slide release and it being really, really tight without really breaking that thing in. A lot of people couldn't actuate it and close the slide without removing the mag and pulling it back. It was really hard, so the Tac Ops gave you that little bit of an extended release. This one is nice. I like the feel of it. I like the texture of it. It is out there, whereas the original factory one was not, but I didn't have an issue with that. But I like being able to feel it more and to have confidence when I push it. I'm hitting a strong ledge and I can push it down. Installing this stuff wasn't that it was difficult at all. It's one of those things where, you know, it's supposed to be a quick 10-minute install and it turns into like a couple hours because you get hung up on one area, and all the videos, you know, it just happens. Slides right in, pops right in, easy, and then for whatever reason you have an issue with that part. So that's what I had an issue with. I had an issue with sliding the takedown lever through and locking into position with the new trigger in place. So I had to change the process and how I installed it to sort of bypass my hang-up spot. I'll say one thing that's different on this than on the factory one is the extended magazine. The magazine release has a bit of an angle to it. So it kind of starts out high and comes down low and has the same sort of texture as the top slide release and takedown lever. But what I notice on this, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, I mean, you definitely feel it. You feel it, it's right there, it's easy to hit, no problem. But because it starts high, you get a good picture of that. It starts high in the back and slopes down with the contour of the grip. With my thumb, what I feel is just the back ledge. So my thumb is hitting just this back ledge. It doesn't, you know, like wrap all the way around on the button. I mean, maybe my hands are small. I mean, I have like a medium-sized hand, but when I hit the magazine release, I'm not hitting it with the whole pad of my thumb, like wrapping it around like this. Because like this, it feels nice and contoured. But when I'm shooting here, and I come up to hit the button, I'm hitting it right on the top of that ledge, that ridge right there. And I feel it. It's not bad at all. It's not bad. It just, you feel a small surface area on your thumb. Compared to the factory one, it's a little flatter, so you really just feel a button, like a wider button. Some people might like this. Some people might not like it. I'm sure you could, if you got the grip, you could swap this out for your factory one. No problem. Not bad. It's just something to note. I like it. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think I'm just so used to the Icarus frame that it would take some getting used to. You know, it feels different. There's no two ways about it. The back strap feels a little different. The grip feels a little different. You know, it's the undercut here isn't as pronounced. Used to having my hand set up a little higher. Again, it's not bad. This grip is not bad. I don't want to give you the impression that it is bad. It's just different. If you're coming from an Icarus, which maybe not a lot of people are, because they are expensive, and most times they're out of stock. They're hard to get because it's a whole machining process. So you may not be saying, oh, well, then I don't want this one because I like my Icarus. That may be the case. But I think most people, 9 out of 10 people, don't have an Icarus grip and have some other grip or the factory grip. And I would say give this one a try because it is nice. It feels, I think, a little more like the factory grip, but enhanced. Almost like a very enhanced pro factory grip, if that makes sense. So it's nice. Definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the 70, 80 bucks that it cost. What I really like about it, though, I think the win is the trigger. The trigger setup and the extended slide and takedown levers there. I would, even if you didn't do the grip module, I would definitely recommend the trigger and probably the slide stop at least. Maybe the takedown lever is not necessary for you if you want it, if you don't need it to match. You don't need to. I mean, this just matches. Doesn't change the weight or the smoothness or anything. It just gives you a little bit of safety. It's nice. All right, guys, let's take a few more shots and end this thing off. But don't forget, Steve MP5 on the Instagrams. See you next time.